Because actually, very often when I work with my lovely, beautiful, wonderful clients who are a bit lost in their voice and frustrated and done and in a point of transition and so fed up of feeling like people don't value you or aren't listening to you, or you feel like you have tried so hard to be good and please everybody else, and yet you're not getting anywhere, right? So there's all those emotions that color what it is you really want. So, I have worked in numerous situations. I've worked with people from partners in law firms and asset management companies, to people who run their own businesses, to receptionists. So it doesn't matter, to people who work in the NHS. It doesn't matter where you work, what you do, what level your job is. If you are frustrated with something or tired, right? So often the energy is, I'm just so tired. And that's very often why people end up resigning, especially from work situations, or throwing in the towel if you're self-employed. So the challenge here with knowing what you want is, so often on the top, there are either all those pesky shoulds from the shoulding, right? What you feel you should want, what you shouldn't do, what other people expect of you, right? So there's either all that on top of you, or there's all the emotions, stuff, frustration, tiredness of all the other experiences that you've been through before, which are similar to this. So live here on Instagram, I have the lovely T1D Traveller, who I happen to know personally, and I know is going through another challenging situation, work orientated at the moment. And I have no doubt that they are kind of a little bit tired and like, oh my goodness, really? I'm going through this again, right? So it's that then clouds what's actually under what you really want. So this is where the coaching element comes in. Get clear on what you want. And to do that, I did this yesterday. Was Tuesday yesterday? Yes, it was. I did this yesterday with a corporate client that I've got. And he's been newly promoted to a management role, but there's some stuff going on and isn't able to express what he wants. So I'm like, what is underneath that? And for you to do that, look at your values. And when I mean values, is what do you value in life? Right? So for example, I value honesty. I value, today I value warmth, right? But, I value connection. I value interaction. Some people value solitude. Some people value autonomy. Other people only want to work as part of a team. So understand when you're communicating, if you don't know what you want, if all you want is for this to go away, that's not clear. Right? So clarity is key. And when you know what you really want, when you work on your values, on the qualities that you bring into the room and the qualities that you want to receive from other people, and on the results that you want to get. What is the outcome that you want? So under all that frustration, tiredness, blah, what is it that you want? Because it might be that you're saying, well, what I want is I just want this to stop. But that doesn't help the people that you're speaking to. That doesn't help if you're in an interview situation. I just want the job. That doesn't help. So underneath that, what are the values? What are the qualities? What are the results? The results for you, the results for the wider community, whether that's a team at work, whether that's your home, your household. That is how you help to get to what you want. It's big, it's deep, it's too much for just a quick Midweek-Mine-My-Mind session, but have that awareness, because very often when we aren't heard is when we're not being clear, because there's so much stuff going on. And the reason for that brings us nicely onto point number 2, which is stop thinking everyone is judging you negatively, right? I'm going to get rid of this for you now. Everyone is judging you. Get over it. You're judging everyone. Everyone is judging you. But some people are judging you positively, right? Some people, and I know one in particular, my sister, is judging me right now because of these roots, right? So there may well be other hairdressers out there, or people who do I don't know, image consulting. I'm like, oh my God, look at those roots. But at the same time, I also know that there are people out there judging me positively, going, oh my God, look, she doesn't have makeup on. She's doing it with her roots. She doesn't care. It's like, no, yeah. I mean, the reason for these roots actually is because I'm going to go and have a flotation tank, and I can't have my hair dyed 3 to 4 weeks before going to have it. So that's why there's a lot of growth, and I want to use up my flotation tank voucher, right? So there's a reason behind it. But other people are positively judging. Oh my God, look at that. She's got the confidence to just go and do it. I wish I could do that. Guess what? You could. Because yes, some people will be judging you negatively, but so many people will be judging you positively. And the really, really, really important factor in this judging thing, and this is, I mean, if for those of you who've done my 2-day vocal confidence workshop, we spend most of day one looking at perception of self and perception of others, and we look at judgment. We spend the whole morning of day one looking at what are we afraid people are judging about us? What do we judge about other people? How do I judge myself? Because this is the problem. And I'm going to be blunt with you. Yes, some people will be judging you positively. Some people will be judging you negatively. Most people don't give a shit about you. They do not care. Most people do not give a flying expletive about you, right? Because they're too busy worrying about themselves. They are too busy thinking, oh God, shall I say that? Shall I not say that? Oh, what if I say that and someone doesn't like me? Oh, I really need this outcome. Or that's, or there's a life problem going on for them at the time. So stop thinking everyone is judging you, because they are. But they're not judging you in the way that you think they are. And very likely, they're too busy worrying about themselves to really give that much attention or focus to you. And the only reason that they would be hugely judging you is if you are negatively impacting their life in some way. Bear with me while I have a cough. So, tip number 3 is start speaking up. Please, just start speaking up, right? And I know that for some people, this is so much more challenging than it sounds. Right? For me, the speaking up that I needed to do was asking for help. Right? That was so tough because I'm strong and I'm independent and I do everything on my own. And start speaking up. Right? And in the space of being heard, if you feel like you get spoken over a lot, right? Other people interrupt you or cut you off. There are a couple of really simple ways that you can get the energy back. Or if you're in a situation and you're waiting, a lot of my clients tend to be on the more introverted scale, and not all, but a lot. And I was just talking about this on Saturday with a half-day intensive client. And she was saying, oh, but, I'm in a meeting situation, for example, or in a social family situation even, and I'm waiting either to be invited to share in the conversation, or I'm waiting for the right moment. And then the end of the situation happens and I haven't spoken up. So there's a couple of ways that you can simply speak up. The first is say someone's name. Right? Agree with someone. Oh, yes, David, or Sarah, can I ask you a question about that? It's if you want to interrupt a flow of conversation, especially if you've got a lot of extroverts in a room, because, and I've done other videos about this, introverts prefer to have transactional communication. So they prefer one-on-one, but I speak, you listen, you speak, I listen. Extroverts, quite happy to have several people in a conversation, and it is interactive. So we flow over each other, and we don't think it's rude to cut across someone because we just trust that the other person will go, oh, wait, I haven't finished yet. Which brings me to point number 2. If you haven't finished speaking and someone has interrupted you, just go, oh, sorry, I hadn't quite finished yet. Very simple. Or if you're being very British about it, sorry, Samantha, would you mind if I finish that train of thought? Because we do like to apologize for everything here, right? So, and if you have something that you want to add, it's like, oh, I've got something I'd like to add here. And again, you could put the name at the beginning. So just use those techniques. Start including yourself in the conversation, because the less you speak up, the less people will expect you to speak up, especially in regular groups of people. If you're in a new situation, like a job interview or a first date, then they don't have that awareness of how you like to communicate yet. But particularly in regular group conversations, if you start by not speaking up much, people aren't going to think you have anything you want to share. So start speaking up, because life is too short to carry on being frustrated and stressed or tired and exhausted or unfulfilled. Oh, right? So please, please, please stop struggling to be heard and use some of these tips. And if you want more, come to me, ask me. I've got a whole load of free videos in these threads on these pages. I've got some on my YouTube channel. I've got a whole load of free videos on my self-study online courses, which is yourwholevoice.thinkific.com. If you like my style, go check them out. If you don't like my style, if you're judging me like, oh my God, no, well, then you probably wouldn't have got to 13 minutes into this video. But if you're like going, not sure, then go and find out more, right? It's fine. If you judge me like, actually, no, you're not for me, Judith. Great, good, go find someone else. But start doing the work, because it's not worth it. It's not worth it. What is worth it is when you take those steps forward. The results that people had with the work that I've done have been phenomenal. I mean, one guy left a one-day intensive with me and went and got rid of a bully at work and signed an £80,000 contract. Right? People have left the 2-day vocal confidence workshop and changed their lives. And that is really the simplest way. If you want to make a difference, if you are ready to start being heard now, I've got a 2-day workshop coming up at the end of February. It's online, it's on Zoom. I was really worried that we'd get screen fatigue, but actually everyone who's done it, including myself, because I don't like being in front of a screen all day, we actually all felt really energized at the end of both days. I'm running it from 12 p.m. UK to 7 p.m. UK so that those of you in the States can join if you want to. Make it easier for you. Some people have got up at 4 o'clock in the morning to come and join me in the past. But take a step, right? So if you have any questions for me about that or about anything that I do, please just ask. But I just got one more bonus tip for you that I want to share. And that is the real importance. It kind of brings us back to tip 1, but it's the real importance of clarity. It's a clarity of thought. When you go back to knowing what you want, right? Start wanting, knowing what you want, having that clarity of thought creates clarity of words. So I know what I want. This is my end result. You create space to have that thought in there and have that clarity. Clarity of intention, and this is really important, creates clarity of tone. And it's the tone of how we speak that really resonates with our audience. So if you're going in with that frustration, that annoyance, that exhaustion, that's what they'll hear. If you're going in with the energy of, I want to create an end result that works for all of us. I want to create a solution. I want things to be better. Then that vibration will carry in your voice. So if you have any questions for me, please feel free to ask in the thread. If you have a tip that you would like to share that has worked for you, please share that in the thread. I am not the fountain of all knowledge to do with vocal confidence. I mean, I'm a fountain of a lot of knowledge to do with vocal confidence. I should be. I've been doing this for 10 years now. But please, if you have another tip that you'd love to share that has been a miracle for you, then please share that here. If you have a question for me, ask. And if you know that you are ready to make that step, then come on the 2-day vocal confidence workshop. If you don't want to do it online and you are in the UK or somewhere in Europe and you can make it to London, we never know these days, I am running an in-person one on the 1st and 2nd of April. But go, I'm done. Sorry it was longer than usual, but I get a bit passionate about this because I care and because it's important and because I want you to make those changes. right, I'm going to go and do my flotation tank. And then in 2 days' time, these roots will be gone and my sister will stop negatively judging me. Not that I care much. Okay, go. Have a wonderful day. See you soon. Bye.